She was shot, then run over, and deputies tell WKRG News 5's Alexa Daly her boyfriend is responsible.
She served her country with honor, raised her children with love, and carried herself with quiet strength. But on a quiet January morning in Florida, Star Tucker's life came to a violent, unimaginable end.
First on 5, a man arrested for murder. He's accused of killing a woman in Escambia County, Florida last night.
Shot more than a dozen times, then run over with her own car. This wasn't a random act of violence, it was personal. The man accused? Not a stranger in the dark, but someone she once held close. What began as love ended in a calculated betrayal that rocked an entire community and left her family forever broken. The brutality is hard to fathom. Shot again and again, then run over in a final act of cruelty.
The sheriff's office says the victim, identified by family as 30-year-old Star Michael Latrice Tucker, was transported to a local hospital where she died.
And when the truth finally surfaced, it sent investigators across state lines chasing a trail of lies, betrayal, and a confession that turned everything darker. What they uncovered was a chilling reminder of how quickly love can twist into something deadly. Star Tucker was born in 1994 in California. From a young age, she was drawn to a life of purpose and service. She pursued higher education at Florida A&M University, where she earned a degree in nursing, a field that allowed her to channel her natural compassion into action. But her ambitions did not end in the classroom.
The victim was shot at least 7 times by her boyfriend and then run over at least twice.
Shortly after graduating, Star made the courageous decision to serve her country and enlisted in the U.S. Air Force. She rose to the rank of senior airman and became a trusted member of the 919th Special Operations Medical Squadron in Pensacola, Florida, where she played a critical role in supporting special operations missions. Star's dedication to service extended far beyond her military duties. Her family described her as the light that shined through everybody's darkness.
I don't know, I'm sorry, I don't have all the right words. I'm tired, I haven't slept, I hardly eat, I'm just exhausted.
A woman who gave selflessly and loved without limits. She was widely known for her kindness and reliability, traits that left a lasting impression on everyone she encountered. Beyond her professional accomplishments and reputation for kindness, Star was also a mother. She devoted herself wholeheartedly to raising her young son, ensuring that he grew up surrounded by love and stability. Her family remembered how she balanced motherhood with military life, never once allowing one responsibility to overshadow the other. They spoke of how she always made herself available for everybody and how she was sweet and giving. These qualities defined her not just as a person, but as a mother, a sister, a daughter, and a friend. Roughly 3 to 4 months before her life was cut short, Star began dating a man named Charles Carson Dowdy.
Investigators say the suspect, 30-year-old Charles Jerome Carson Dowdy, left the scene in the victim's Jeep Cherokee.
At the time, their relationship seemed filled with warmth and happiness. Friends and family were initially reassured by what they saw. Charles came across as gentle, even innocent, and the couple appeared content during the early stages of their romance. Those who knew Star closely believed she had found someone who valued her the way she deserved to be valued. There were no apparent red flags, nothing to indicate that danger might be looming. But all that changed on the night of January 2nd, 2025. What began as an ordinary evening turned into something irreversible and horrifying. Authorities would later describe the incident as domestic in nature, a word that carries the heavy implication that the danger came from someone within her inner circle.
A brutal killing at the crossings on Baldridge Drive Thursday night.
In a matter of moments, the relationship that once appeared full of hope descended into violence. The calm and joyful image that once surrounded Star and Charles was shattered, exposing a reality no one had anticipated. Details surrounding what exactly unfolded that night remain unclear, but the consequences were devastating. Star, a woman known for saving lives, comforting others, and serving her country, became the victim of a fatal act that no one saw coming. Her family and loved ones were left reeling, forced to confront the cruel truth that the person she had welcomed into her life brought about its violent end.
He didn't give off he could do something like this, but you never know until it's too late.
On the evening of January 2, 2025 at approximately 8 p.m., deputies from the Escambia County Sheriff's Department in Florida responded to a distress call reporting gunfire at the Crossings apartment complex, located on 9 Mile Road. Upon arrival, they were met with a disturbing scene. Star Tucker had been violently attacked. Evidence at the scene revealed she had been shot approximately 15 times. The assault did not stop there. She had also been run over at least twice by a vehicle believed to be her own Jeep Cherokee.
We contacted the Alabama authorities, and they did find that Jeep Cherokee with a flat tire on the interstate just inside the Alabama line.
The brutality of the incident was immediate and overwhelming. As investigators worked the scene, Star's identity was formally released to the public by her family. She was confirmed to be 30-year-old Star Tucker, a senior airman and devoted mother. News of the slaying sent shockwaves through the local community. Residents and officials alike were stunned by the level of violence inflicted upon someone known for her selflessness and service. Authorities quickly categorized the case as a domestic violence incident, one that stood out for its sheer severity and cruelty. While law enforcement was still processing the scene in Florida, a breakthrough came from across state lines. Officers in Alabama received a call from the Daphne Police Department, who had been contacted by Escambia County deputies. They warned of a possible homicide suspect believed to be in the area. The man they were looking for was Charles Carson Dowdy, Star's boyfriend. His attempt to flee across state lines was abruptly halted by an unexpected setback: a flat tire. Escambia County Sheriff Chip Simmons later stated, "We contacted the Alabama authorities, and they did find that Jeep Cherokee with a flat tire on the interstate just inside the Alabama line. The vehicle was spotted near Ralph and Cuckoo's on the causeway, not far from the Florida-Alabama border. The suspect had already called for roadside assistance, unaware that authorities were closing in on his location. His attempt to escape was effectively foiled by mechanical failure and swift interagency coordination. Thanks to rapid information sharing and modern technology, Spanish Fort police were able to track Charles down quickly."
I think that the speed at which we developed the information was important, and obviously the partnerships and relationships that we've built, the communication and cooperation with other agencies was very important.
Within roughly 10 minutes of the alert, he was located and arrested without incident. Officers noted that without the benefit of real-time communication tools, Charles might have successfully evaded capture for a much longer period. His arrest marked a critical step forward in the investigation and ensured that he would be held accountable for his actions. Following his arrest, Charles was extradited back to Florida to face legal proceedings. He was formally charged with second-degree murder in connection with Star Tucker's slaying. For those who knew and loved Star, the arrest brought a momentary sense of relief, but it could not erase the horror of what had occurred. The community was left mourning the loss of a woman whose life had been rooted in service, love, and compassion, now taken away in a senseless act of domestic violence. Emergency personnel rushed Star to a nearby hospital following the attack, but despite their efforts, she succumbed to her injuries. The extent of the violence, combined with evidence that she had been struck multiple times by gunfire and then run over by her own vehicle, pushed Escambia County investigators to classify the case as a domestic homicide. The brutality of the scene made it clear that this was not a random act of violence. It was deeply personal and disturbingly calculated. As the investigation intensified, detectives began tracking the movements of Charles Carson Dowdy, relying on both surveillance and personal connections. A former co-worker played a key role in helping law enforcement locate him. During a phone conversation, Charles reportedly admitted to shooting Star approximately 16 times, an admission that gave authorities a critical lead. Escambia County Sheriff Chip Simmons later emphasized the betrayal at the heart of the case, highlighting the horrifying reality of a domestic partner committing such extreme violence. Crime scene findings confirmed that Star had been shot approximately 15 times in the parking area of the apartment complex, with at least 7 bullets striking her. Investigators also confirmed that after she collapsed, her body was run over by a Jeep, believed to be her own. The recovery of Star's Jeep Cherokee, found with a flat tire on the Alabama side of Interstate 110, provided further evidence. Inside the vehicle, law enforcement discovered the firearm used in the shooting, located in the center console. The presence of the weapon, combined with the co-worker's tip, helped solidify the foundation for the charges against him. As deputies continued to process the crime scene, they received additional information that Charles had contacted the father of Starr's young son shortly after the shooting. During the call, he told the man that Starr was dead, but refused to elaborate, saying he did not want to talk about what happened. Not long after, the same man called 911 to report that he believed he knew Charles's location, having frequently dropped him off at the same apartment complex in the past, and recognizing it from news reports. The man then texted Charles, asking if he was all right. In response, Charles replied, "Not at all," and admitted that he had shot Starr approximately 16 times. According to deputies, Charles told the man that things had been fine between him and Starr until some rage broke out, and he opened fire. He also mentioned that he was currently underneath a bridge headed towards Mobile, Alabama. Detectives had the man call Charles back while they listened in, hoping to gather more information to assist in locating and apprehending him. During that second call, Charles revealed he was waiting for roadside assistance to fix a flat tire. When the man suggested he turn himself in, Charles responded that he was scared. Based on the new intel, Spanish Fort police were able to locate him shortly thereafter. Upon his arrest, he voluntarily told officers that there was a firearm in the center console of his Jeep. The only other thing he said was, "My life is over." He then declined to give any further statement, choosing to remain silent as he was taken into custody. Charles Carson Dowdy made his first court appearance on January 8, 2025, where a judge ordered that he be held without bond. He was formally charged with second-degree murder under Florida law. The prosecution built its case around multiple forms of compelling evidence, including ballistic reports, eyewitness accounts, and a phone call in which Charles allegedly confessed to shooting Starr numerous times. The firearm recovered from the center console of his Jeep Cherokee further strengthened the prosecution's position. As of April 2025, the legal process remained ongoing. Prosecutors have continued to stress the domestic context of the slaying, arguing that the relationship dynamics pointed to a clear pattern of escalating behavior and deliberate violence. They aim to demonstrate intent by highlighting the number of shots fired and the subsequent act of running over the victim. While the case has drawn significant public attention due to its disturbing nature, no verdict has yet been issued, and upcoming court dates have not been made public. What are your thoughts on this tragic story? Please share your thoughts in the comments below and give this video a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel and like this kind of content, please subscribe for upcoming episodes. Your support is greatly appreciated. Stay safe, and I will see you on the next episode.